Hey everybody, please don't mind my hair or the shirt. Anyways, yeah, just please bear with me about the shirt and my hair. What was it? Anyways, I really didn't want to come on here and talk about this, but because I'm getting sick of Charlie Kirk. People think he was a martyr, a servant of God, that he wasn't racist, that he was, and then, that he was a man of God, that he wasn't racist, that he was a good person. No. He was part of the Maga movement. He was against illegal immigration. He talked bad so much about black people. He talked bad so much about illegal immigrants when he seemed to have forgotten his history and forgot that he was an illegal immigrant along with his family and along with his friends, because the first people that were here were Native American, like me, and along with others, along with a lot of others. Itchy. Anyway, anyways, these mega Christians don't realize it, but they've fallen into a fake type of Christianity, a counterfeit Christianity, Christian nationalism. And they don't realize that they're idolizing the government, they're idolizing Trump, they're idolizing Charlie Kirk. These are the same people that at Charlie Kirk's memorial applauded Trump for what he said about hating his enemies, then turned right around and applauded Erica Kirk for saying she forgives her husband's shooter. They're hypocrites. These are the same people that are against illegal immigration. How to put this? What was I going to say? I'm sorry, there's just a lot of anxiety built up. I'm not trying to repeat myself intentionally. But these people have been spreading violence and hate and racism ever since Charlie Kirk died. And they attended his debates because they saw some of themselves in him, I guess. And I wonder why that is. These people have become racists because of it. And if they weren't, they were already racists. These people have been grieving for a man they didn't know personally, or didn't even know about until he was killed. And they still do, to this day, when he was debating politically with people, and sometimes he would add scripture to it. Or sometimes he would bring God into it. But he was using Christianity as a label. He was using Christianity to push his agenda of Christian nationalism, of being a conservative. But he worshipped the government. He worshipped. Well, I can't say he worshipped Trump because, well, he probably did. And it's very possible he was also a pedophile, because I've seen him speak about pedophilia and he was defending it in one clip, and then the others he was refusing to talk about Epstein. He was on the defensive, like he was not wanting to talk about it. He was hiding something. He was like Trump was when he was saying that he didn't want to talk about it. When Trump said that when Trump was getting all defensive about it, Trump is a pedophile. Those of you who don't see the evidence right in front of you and haven't heard it, you're in for a surprise. He used to go to these parties late at night in these houses with Epstein, with little girls dancing for them, getting off on it. Videos have shown that. But yeah, people claim that Charlie Kirk died a martyr. He died for his faith. How is that exactly? How did he die for his faith? How did he die for telling the truth? What truth? What biblical truth did he die for? Can someone tell me? Because mostly all he talked about were political things. He barely ever talked biblically, or used scripture. He never preached salvation. He talked about having faith in God and this, that, and whatever, but even the devil believes in God and can quote scripture. These mega Christians are in a counterfeit Christianity, and they don't realize that they're in a cult. And they spend so much time grieving for a man they don't personally know, or didn't even know about until he was killed, or should I say assassinated. Well, he wasn't even really killed or assassinated. He was, they made it look like he was killed. He was just acting. It was just all an act. The world is a stage, and we're all players. That's all that happened. His character was just killed off. He is under the name James Cox now. He manipulated and played everybody, and so did the people that had a part in it. He fooled a lot of people. What happened to Charlie Kirk was a false flag psyop. And I would never celebrate someone's death. I would never would. I still don't. I never have. But he's not really dead. And if he is, he's really good at it. If he really is dead, he's really bad at his job of acting like he is. Oh, if he is really dead, he's really bad at if he's really dead, it's really they're doing really bad job at showing that he's dead. Like the entire memorial was a performance, a campaign. It was a blasphemous joke. His wife was over dramatic, trying to fool everybody with her crocodile tears. But like I said, these Maga Christians are trying to. I mean, they're grieving over a man they barely know. Not that they barely know, but they don't know personally, or they just found out about and just learned about when he was killed. They spend all this time grieving about a man they don't know personally, that they claim was a martyr, that they claim was killed for his faith. And like I said, what truth was that? What faith was that? What gospel? When did he? Like, what truth did he die for, and how? Because he wasn't dying for. He wasn't dying for Jesus. He wasn't, No, he was not a martyr. He was not dying for his faith. He was dying for being, making a mockery of Christianity. That's what he died. That's why he died. He lived by the sword. He died by the sword. He, like I said, was using Christianity in a way that one shouldn't, and he died for it. That's what happened. He was using it as a label, and that's why it happened. He said empathy is for the weak. I have no empathy for a man who has no empathy for those who deserve it. I have no empathy for a man who is a white supremacist.
Well, yeah.
I have no empathy for a man who is brainwashing people into thinking he's a good man when he's not. I have no empathy for a man like that. I have no empathy for a man who's using Christianity to push his own agenda. I have no empathy for a man who pushes violence, who spreads violence. After he died, a bunch of black men were hung by trees at colleges. One, his arms and legs were broken, and nobody seems to know how it happened. people are trying to say that it was suicide. But then how did his arms and legs get broken? How did his arms and legs get broken, and how did he hang himself from the tree? If he left a note, it doesn't. No. These Maga people are involved in this stuff somehow, and have been ever since Charlie Kirk died. And people don't believe that Charlie Kirk was a racist. These Maga Christians, these Christians who are following Charlie Kirk and his movement, Maga or not, are following a counterfeit Christianity that Charlie Kirk started. They're spreading hate, violence, and division. They're doing horrible things, and they think that they're doing God a service. Okay, and I meant to say this too. These people are grieving for a man they barely knew, that they didn't know, that they didn't know until he was killed, and that they didn't know personally. Yet there are believers out there, true believers, that are out there really suffering for their faith, really being killed for their faith, but I don't see one post for these people. I don't see or hear about people grieving for these believers. Well, actually, I can't say I don't see one post, but I do see maybe one post, but that's about it, like one passing post. Nothing like what people are doing for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is being compared to Jesus, like to the point where they said that Charlie Kirk was crucified on the cross just like Jesus was. And that kind of stuff. And like I said, his memorial was blasphemous as well, and threatening, and fake. His obituary is fake. His parents weren't even there. None of his family were, and none of his family or even his parents were on his obituary. And I find that pretty odd. But yeah, these people, these so-called Christians are not really grieving at all. They're not grieving at all for these true believers. Like, they don't even mention these believers. They're just talking about Charlie Kirk and like using his quotes and among other stuff. Like they're spreading the gospel and whatever, like any believer should. But what about the believers that are out there suffering and dying for their faith? Why don't we ever mention them? What about them? Do their cries go silent and fall on deaf ears? Do their cries go do their cries go dark and blinded on you know what I'm trying to say? Do they go unnoticed in your eyes? Apparently they do, because I don't ever see anyone posting anything about them in the groups that I have been in. Not once. I hear of incidents that have happened at like churches or schools, you know, and colleges maybe like once in a passing post, but like other than that, it's like nothing's happening to these people. Like, why don't we talk about what's happening with these people in Alcatraz or the Congo, or what's happening to people that are being taken by ICE, or what's happening to people that are being arrested by the police for no reason. You know, what about these people that are really suffering out there? What about them? When do you start to care about them? Alright. God bless.